Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Warcast. May's edition is a Warhammer special. We've got all things Warhammer related with myself, Lionheart, and Warrior of Sparta. Welcome.
Hello.
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 I just realised I can't see your Lionheart. Oh, you got the camera off your screen.
Well, no, we never have him. Remember? It's just how OBS does things.
I'm the master of the editing windows. This is how it has to work. Yeah. Skype doesn't like it if we all show faces.
So, we're going to kick things off with a Total War Warhammer giveaway on our Facebook page and our Twitter page. If you don't know, we actually have our own dedicated Warcast pages where we post all kinds of fun stuff when we remember. So, when we remember. So, we're going to do a giveaway on Twitter. The way it's going to work is follow the link in the description of these videos on any of our channels. And all you need to do is follow that page and retweet that tweet, which we're going to leave a link to. On Facebook, you need to like our Facebook page and share the post. Is there anything else I need to do?
You need to kill a Chaos Forsaken warrior.
With your bare hands.
Yeah, with the bare hands.
And take a selfie if you're doing it.
Yes, and hashtag it.
Hashtag Chaos Forsaken selfie takedown.
Blood for blood.
Blood for blood, there we go. That seemed better. Do that.
So, leave a comment in our Facebook page saying blood for blood.
If you want to, if you want like bonus points, like do it. If you want internet cookies, blood for blood. Hashtag blood for blood.
If you want the copy of Warhammer, do anything you can.
Legally.
But the main thing to do,
legally, yeah.
No, not illegally.
Follow us and retweet that tweet and like our page and share the Facebook post.
Yeah, there should be instructions on both those giveaways on Twitter and Facebook anyway, I'm sure.
Very quick question. What is Total War Warhammer?
Well, I think you'll find it's a game.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll check it out.
It's the latest release by Creative Assembly, creators of the Total War series, combining the epic series of Total War turn-based strategy and real-time battles and the tabletop game of Warhammer.
Right.
The 8th edition, not Age of Sigmar, if any of you...
8th edition.
Yeah.
I should also say those links to the giveaways will also be available on our SoundCloud. For those of you that want to listen to this podcast on your iTunes or Android devices.
Wow. Well, let's kick this off. We're going to do a review of every single different aspect of Warhammer. So we're going to do our initial impressions.
Every aspect.
What?
You're like waving your hands around. I just mimicked you.
Sorry.
You can't see me, so that didn't really work. But to the viewers at home, it's good.
Initial impressions, guys. What do you think of Total War Warhammer?
Yeah, it's I thought you were going to be like, what do you think, Lionheart? No, I like it. It's a really solid entry because they've got 3 games planned. So it's a really solid entry into it. Sure, there's things that I can see that I'd like to see improved or changed along the way, but for the most part, it's definitely a different Total War experience with monstrous creatures, magic, not just it all being humans anymore. There's vampires, chaos, there's orcs and goblins, and initial impressions as well. Because I know in previous Warcasts, with me, Warrior, and you, we've all talked about how kind of performance is key as well. And it's been a really solid test so far. I mean, we're all on like a press build at the moment, but that's probably pretty representative of what it's going to be like on day one. There'll probably be a patch on day one as well, but I would say it's the best preview of a Total War game I've ever played. Like in terms of being stable, I haven't had a single crash, and in terms of performance,
I've had one in about 30 hours of playing.
Not bad.
So that's pretty good for any PC game, really.
In terms of its frame rate, and its sort of performance in optimization, best I've seen in a Total War game, definitely by far. For the release build as well. I mean, obviously we probably will have patches which will improve it even more. Hopefully, we haven't even got the DirectX 12 support yet, so. Who knows what that will be like? So I think it'll be. I think it is one of the best performing games we've had.
I think a lot of people were concerned over the not being historical anymore, but I think that this formula seems to fit very well in the Warhammer universe. It seems like an incredibly atmospheric experience. So I kind of writ off doing any Let's Plays on it, and now I'm doing a couple because I don't know. I just find the campaign so refreshing and engaging. The fact that you can rename every single unit is pretty cool. So you can kind of create an immersion that you haven't really had before, and it's kind of more of a story-based game, which I kind of like.
A lot of role-playing elements that have been just tweaked from previous titles, or, as you said, with that renaming thing, you can really role-play with Boaty McBoatface as your hero if you want.
Yeah, everyone in the Twitch chat was trying to get me to do that. I called my wizard Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
The cross fantasy linkage there, love it.
I mean, it's the perfect blend, isn't it? Warhammer fits Total War fits Warhammer. It is fantastic.
If you don't like fantasy, they're still making historical games, guys. Can't stress this enough. The number of people I've seen the Total War series is dead to me. It's like they're never making, they can never come back from this. It's like they're still going to make historical titles. And the thing is, I've seen plenty of people that are stout historical Total War kind of defenders, and that's all they want. But they have seen a couple of features already presented in Total War Warhammer that they go, that'd be great if that made it into the next Total War game. And the simple fact of it is, we wouldn't necessarily be seeing some of these features or some of these development process thought ideas, I wouldn't have thought, unless Creative Assembly have had this opportunity to go to this kind of creative fantasy setting. Because potentially within a historical, that's quite a strict confine of what you would normally, think about developing. The fantasy setting, I think, has allowed them a lot more freedom and creativity, which is only going to benefit, I think, future titles, by and large.
Definitely. This is opening the door now for new projects, new potential areas for them to move in, and getting a whole vast array of new fans and players to the series, isn't it? Really, it's opened the doors.
I've got a whole new world stuck in my head right now.
It's a whole new world. That's the old one, actually.
Yeah, a whole
new fantastic toy.
Oh, old of you.
Old of you.
I don't know. I say old.
I'm not gonna. No, I really want to go watch Aladdin now.
We touched on it briefly.
What?
Performance.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant you.
Am I being kind of the moderator of this?
You are. This is your baby, bro. Yeah,
so
keep us in check.
So it was pushing to do a review style, and that's not really like me. I'm usually more jovial than.
Yeah,
Rambler takes charge. Yeah.
Yeah, Rambler takes charge. Well,
Warhammer's made him serious. It's made him go serious.
Cannot stay me serious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, performance. Actually, I was just saying before we start recording, I was reading there's been some DirectX 12 benchmarks come out.
Yes.
DirectX 12 isn't available in our press build at the moment.
Link it in the channel.
I will. It'll be in the description. Yes, the benchmarks. It was on Reddit, so you can go check there as well if we, for some reason, haven't put it in the description, but we'll put it there. But they went through and they tested it at 1080, 2K, and 4K resolutions, and on average, there was a 64% increase in FPS from DirectX 11 to DirectX 12 across all those resolutions, which is insane. Now, they also stated that apparently, and I haven't heard any official confirmation of this, but we do know that DirectX 12 will not be available at launch. It's going to be added in later, similar to how DirectX 11 was added into Shogun 2 post-launch. But in this article, it actually said it's planned to be released in June. Now, I mean, June's only a week or two away anyway. We're coming to the end of May, so... I mean, I would assume maybe at most a month after launch, so end of June, we might see DirectX 12 integration. I would assume they're trying to get it in as soon as possible because we've got, the GTX 1080 and 1070s, out in June. And then in a couple of months' time, we should have the new Polaris AMD cards. So there's going to be a lot of focus on that. Plus, AMD has got some proprietary tech, I think, or they've been working with Creative Assembly in partnership. There's been a partnership announced with AMD for Total War Warhammer. So there's the potential that you might see some AMD cards performing slightly better than their NVIDIA counterparts. We'll have to wait and see, launch, because it's not a benchmarking tool at the moment, is there either? So we're just running an FPS counter and doing it the old-fashioned way.
How do they test DirectX 12 though?
I don't know. I can only assume that I think they are kind of like a tech website. So I can only assume they got an early build of it, or they were testing out because they wanted that exclusive or something like that. So maybe Creative Assembly or Sega gave it to them.
Yes.
But if those gains are correct, that's insane. Because
Yeah.
the thing you've got to be careful with DirectX
Yeah.
12, I mean, when it was first announced, and along with the 64-bit engine, so a lot of people were like, it's great they're going to 64-bit, it's great they're announcing DirectX 12, but this isn't going to be a magical end-all cure for poor performance, necessarily. But this is looking pretty substantial, at minimum, at least it's a 50% increase for those benchmarks they were running. Whether that's actually the case when it eventually comes out, but I mean, we were running on GTX 980 Ti's, aren't we?
Yep.
And I was testing out the Galmoraz quest battle, and loading into that, panning and flying around to start with, I was at 100 FPS with ultra settings. And then zooming in, I think the lowest I went was like 52, and there was just so much going on. There was an explosion, but then it went straight back up to like 68, 70.
Yeah.
I was able to hold solid FPS.
Were you recording?
Huh?
Were you recording, or was that just looking at the FPS counter?
That was looking at the FPS counter, but the recording process I have doesn't have an FPS impact either on it, so it would be straight like-to-like performance.
Oh, what do you use?
A capture card.
Oh, yeah.
Capture card, yeah.
Yeah, I should probably.
What was that on the War Machine or the normal?
That was on the
PC?
War Machine. So yeah, on the War Machine, it's got actually two 980 Ti's in SLI. But there's not an SLI profile. And there's also, we should say, with all the builds we've been testing, there's no official driver support yet for, obviously, Warhammer, because it's not out. We're doing this on preview builds. So it'll be interesting to see how much difference those drivers make to the game. I mean, SLI is always a tricky thing anyway with most games, and I haven't seen a lot of support for it for past titles that well, but it should have some kind of impact.
Yeah.
I was seeing maybe 5 to 10 FPS more with the SLI config than without it, so it was making some kind of impact, but the utilization was very low. But still, a single TI, we've all seen it, solid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had some. What was it?
I think Lionheart just
Have I just blazed it?
Up. But what are you going to say, Warrior?
980 Ti.
Good.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Solid. But I guess we should say, for those that don't have insane Uber cards, if you're looking at a £200 or $300 card, or a $150 card, or something lower down the range, this does seem like the best, or the most optimized Total War game for a very long time.
Yep.
So even if you do have a lower end system, we've been running this all at ultra settings. If you do have a lower end system and you normally play at medium, like basically if you can play Attila and you can play Rome 2, you can definitely play Warhammer. Because it's definitely better than Attila's performance. So yeah, you should be fine whatever you set up.
I think they've really worked hard on it. They must have really put a lot of time into investing into it to get it right.
Yeah.
For this game. So yeah, I think they've done well. They've done well.
So on to battles then. So I think we've all played our fair amount of battles. We all got very excited when we started playing against each other, or playing with each other earlier on, like a week or two ago. Wink, wink. And
God.
I think that the battles with the different variety of units gives an experience that I haven't really had before with Total War. Just the size and the scale of the units. It's more of like when you're playing it, you can't really zoom in. You need to actually watch the replays and then actually zoom in and be like, oh my god. So having like the giants vomiting on people, smashing them up and eating them and throwing them away. It's just like those kind of little nuances really seem great. In terms of the AI, I've seen something on Reddit recently that one of Legend's battles, I think that army was he was attacking a settlement, and it was of course like minor settlements they don't exist anymore, which is a shame, I guess.
Yeah.
We're good stuff.
Yeah. So the army didn't move. Legend had to keep creeping towards them. But if they're in a defensive stance, surely that's normal.
If they were in defensive stance, I would assume they're going to hold the ground, so you'd have to go to them. I think I saw that there was a clip with it where he was constantly hitting them with his missile troops and they didn't really react.
They were just standing there.
I've had that a few times myself. I've actually been able to snipe, as it were, other enemy legendary lords by using spells on them from far away, like with Manfred, his leech life, and I've killed them before the whole army's even got to me. So I would like to see the AI actually be improved to take into account that they might be the target of magic and potentially pull them back a little bit more. I know they want to be in the front to support with their auras, but I think the AI needs to sometimes go, I'm going to get hit by all this magic, and I can get taken out before I even get into combat, so I need to pull back or something.
Yeah, I've not seen that myself, to be honest with you, because the battles I've played, they've always been quite aggressive, actually. And if I have started hitting them with my Thunderers, for example, when I was playing with Dwarf campaign, they have then started to move forward and try and rush me. So I've not actually seen that. But
Have you found flanking? Do they try and flank you much?
they put pressure on my two flanks by putting about 2 or 3 units submerging onto them.
So
But
I had one today where I was playing as the Empire and I was attacking a similar composition army, and they had the high ground by quite a margin.
Yeah.
And I tried to go around to the side of the hill where it wasn't as steep. And as soon as they saw me doing that, they just kind of launched everything at me before I could actually form up properly. So I think it's a kind of a mixed bag with the AI at the minute. Sometimes they perform really well. Sometimes they...
I don't think I've seen it completely fail. I think it's not any worse than Attila's AI, I wouldn't have thought.
I think that, of course, it's the internet, so we need to take this with a pinch of salt, that some people, they see that one occasion and they're like, oh, it's a Rome 2 release all over again.
Yeah, they see one mistake and assume it's all the same. Yeah. The battles have been challenging. I mean, Chaos campaign-wise, when the early couple of battles you fight against lots of Chaos Marauders, their Marauder cavalry are their skirmish units, and I've seen them try and flank me a fair few times and harass my flanks if I haven't gone off chasing them. And the AI constantly keeps withdrawing them to keep out of that missile range and try and choose the... I've had to really close them down so they just couldn't escape. For the most part, battles are pretty solid with the AI. It knows when to engage you. There's just some tweaks in there to be made, and obviously the 1 or 2 instances where it doesn't perform that well. But I would say, for me, it's on par with Attila, if not better, definitely in some cases.
I think it's better than Attila. I think it's better than Attila. I would go as far to say that. But
yeah. So, do we have anything else to add about the battles?
In terms of AI, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
The campaigny map, I think it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Campaign map, yeah. And the sounds as well. The sounds.
Do you feel it's bigger than it actually looks?
Yes.
Because
it looks like it's quite small, but there are so many settlements.
Yeah. When I first looked at it, I did think, crap, this is going to be a really tiny game, and I know that they're planning to stitch all the maps of the 3 games together at the end for a massive one, but I was like, does that mean they've sacrificed it and made this first one quite small? But no, it's when you're in there, you're zooming around, you're like, there's like 10 settlements in this small area that I thought was, just going to be 3.
Yeah. I think I'm 100 turns into a Greenskins campaign, and I've only just got to the point where I'm encountering humans.
Nice.
So it's taken me 100 turns to defeat all the orcs, the dwarves, and now I'm attacking the border princes.
Nice.
Good work.
Yeah. I guess that would link into like pacing. How do you find it's because you've done 100 turns? I guess I haven't played anything that long so far on this build.
Well, I made a couple of bad mistakes, so it took me a little bit longer than it probably should have to get to the point where I am. But I think it's well paced. The chaos corruption is annoying. Even in like the greenskins, like I'm still encountering chaos corruption, even though I'm nowhere near chaos. Like the chaos warriors aren't anywhere near me. It's just like a worldwide thing where they're just all being corrupted.
Have they sent any agents down to you yet?
I've had like things pop up saying, "Do I want to do this?" And I'll get money, but I'll increase corruption, or I can just send them away.
You've had the missions, but no agents.
Yeah, I've had the missions, but no agents appear.
Okay. Be interesting to see how many more turns it takes until they kind of descend upon you. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on where they are on the campaign map, and I'm getting a bit freaked out because they're in the Empire at the minute, and I'm at the border princes. Yeah.
Legit, you should be, because we all said sort of what was going to fill up your time if you're not going to conquer every single settlement. There's chaos is going to keep you busy, whoever you're playing.
So I'm now encountering the regional occupation. Now that I'm actually encountering human settlements as the greenskins, all I can do is raise them or loot them.
How are you finding that?
It's a bit annoying with the greenskins because I'm pretty sure the greenskins would have occupied human settlements and just like pretty much corrupt and just like destroyed them like they would have done to the dwarven Karaks. So I don't know. I could be wrong from a lore standpoint. Do you know?
I don't know from a lore standpoint.
Oh, but I think it makes sense that orcs would maybe occupy human buildings and destroy them and make their own settlements.
Yeah, I would kind of see the system as you'd have to go in, loot it, raise it, and then you could actually, rather than just colonize, repopulate, you'd actually have to completely colonize it, and you would just take over the ruins and orcify everything, because they do that to Dwarven Carracks.
Yeah. So that's frustrating. I don't know if I can raise them and then recolonize them. I don't know if that works.
I wouldn't have thought so, because it's always a human-based template, but there is obviously that mod that's planned for release to remove regional occupation.
Yeah.
So with someone, if I was playing as the Empire, I think the regional occupation makes a bit more sense. With the dwarves, again, I don't see them occupying human cities too much. But I think with the greenskins, they probably would have just occupied anything they wanted. Maybe.
You're going to get slammed by lore-friendly
depending on the race that I'm playing, as I might actually use that mod.
Yeah. I'm doing all of my Let's Plays at the moment with regional occupation on, just because I want to see what it's like. But, I mean, I've got Empire, Vampire Counts. I kind of, with the Vampire Counts, wouldn't mind going and corrupting and taking over the halls of the dwarves in Zufbar to, like...
Yeah.
I kind of wouldn't see, like, a dark cave. That sounds like a good place for a vampire to have a lair.
And it's even in that video that with the Vampire Counts reveal, Manfred was saying, like, the underground is mine and stuff. So.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably going to be given plenty of reasons by the Warhammer lore learned of you that know that there's like, no, Lionheart Rambler Warrior, there is no way that this could ever happen. No. Don't think of Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, you silly fantasy chaps. This is Warhammer fantasy. But yeah, you've got that mod. At least if you want that option, it's now there.
Yeah.
It won't convert the settlements in terms of cosmetic look, will it? It'll just make them
not yet
conquerable.
No. I don't know if it will be expanded upon, but obviously I guess they're trying to just push it so it's ready for release.
I mean, that's the thing. We couldn't play them with that on because.
I've just noticed. Oh my god, he's getting the tea delivered again.
I really need this. I need to be like.
It's gonna be bloody hard.
I'm gonna just pretend give myself a glass.
I've just noticed you've got the Battle of Endor as a poster warrior. Is that from X-Wing Alliance?
No, it's just
what a spot. What a spot.
Yeah.
I like the panda calendar you've got.
And you've also got the arena. Oh yeah, that's the Tellus. They use fritters and stuff for their promotional stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, pandas. And then you got your arena medals, 1 gold and silver, or is it 2 silver?
Space silver got lost. Oh shit. I know, I've got my warrior thing here.
So I think let's go on to sieges now. Now this is a talking point that I think we're all a bit like. I don't know if I'm going to speak for both of you here, but we're all a bit like they're going to get boring.
Yeah.
And the towers are just fucking. Sorry, pardon me. The towers are just stupid. Like they shouldn't be able to fire the entire map. You have to just rush settlements.
I don't like that. Yeah.
To it. It's just like I don't like that design decision. They need to change that.
Yeah, it's changed that.
And open up the cities, please.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
Cities look absolutely gorgeous.
So would you say, long story short, turn sieges back to Attila sieges? Where you can encircle the whole city, attack from multiple directions. The settlements scale up in size as you upgrade them, and the towers aren't firing across the whole freaking map. Yeah,
even towers in Attila were still OP.
I mean, the thing is, I guess we've got to discuss how are you finding the CGI, because they haven't quite come out and said it's a function over form thing, but I think we can all agree that it is a function over form choice of making the AI work hopefully better to give you a more challenging fight up on the walls. In lieu of that, they've made it so it's a 1-wall approach or 2 walls at max that you attack, and that the towers are firing the whole width of the map, so there's no bombardment phase, so you have to press the walls and attack.
Yeah, I think that's done for an AI standpoint. Yeah. I think it's got to be.
Very clearly, I would say. It's a very functional, point of let's get them onto the walls and let's make the main fight here where we can direct the AI to work on it rather than being confused and trying to pathfind through little wiggly paths or a hilltop.
It just creates a similar game siege every time. That's a problem.
Same. And you can coordinate the towers to fire at their lord, so you can pretty much take their lord out.
Yeah, you can snipe the lords.
Snipe him.
Yeah,
you can snipe him. I mean, you can't keep anything in reserve. You can't keep anything back. You can't strategically think, well, I'm going to keep them just there until the right moment. You just literally having to go with everything forward.
I think towers should have a long range. Maybe even so that they can hit you straight away from your deployment, but at least give you the option to be able to pull back a few troops to hold them in reserve, because you're trying to desperately work out where you're going to press, and otherwise by the time you've worked that out, you've lost half of your reserve units because they've been hit by the towers.
I had some reinforcements come in from one side of the battle, so the towers started firing at a unit of Black Orcs, and by the time I could get them from the reinforcement point to the walls, they'd lost about 80% of their men.
Yeah.
And that's a unit of Black Orcs, so it's like the most powerful unit I can pretty much field in terms of infantry.
Yeah.
And they were dead.
Yeah.
By the time they got to the walls, it's just like.
That said, the sieges I have fought have been bloody fun. I have had fun.
They're so close. They're really epic and tense.
Yeah, like that chaos one we had, which unfortunately we're gonna have to re-record at some point or do something for. We did at CA on the live stream. Chaos versus Empire and a siege. That was chaotic, crazy, messy, and a really tough fight down to the wire. And it was a really good siege, and it was really enjoyable.
So does that show that I guess playing against human players is more satisfying and fun than?
I think maybe it is. I haven't played enough against the AI though, to be honest. At high tier. Level ones, because the way the garrisons work in the game for your provincial capitals, you often need 2 full stacks to actually make it a viable go, because they're spawning in with full-on great swords and steam tanks and everything, and they've got nearly full 20 stack garrison, plus they've got an army in there. You need 2 or 3 stacks to take it.
Powerful. Why is the garrison so powerful early on?
I think it is to make these siege battles epic, and so that you can't just rush every settlement. You will actually have to gather your strength. In my Vampire Counts Let's Play, I've avoided trying to go for Templehof until I get my Vargeist, because I need those heavy flyer units to get over the walls to stop them wrecking me, because otherwise I'm going to lose all my units on the attack, and I can't afford a second army, so I need to try and rush it with one.
It was incredibly satisfying when I was storming a Dwarven Karak with basically I brought like 4 stacks of greenskins just to assault one Karak, and it was good fun. And see when the gates went down, just pouring in my Ragnarok straight through the gates, and seeing that kind of atmospheric experience is incredibly satisfying. It's just I'd like more flexibility.
Yeah, I think that the sieges aren't, they're not a part of the game that's just going to completely turn me off it. They're certainly like bearable, and in many cases very, very enjoyable. But they're not the sieges that we've come to know and love from past Total War games, and Rambler has vacated the building. Is it more?
Sorry, someone's using like a lawnmower outside.
But yeah, the sieges aren't the sieges of past Total War games that we've all come to know and love, and I think this is such a dramatic change. But I mean, the reasoning behind it is that they're trying to improve the AI. I think that's a worthy cause to try it, and to improve the siege AI for sure. But I think this might have been such a drastic, almost alteration from previous sieges, where you've had this huge expanse and attack from all sides, to close it in on one approach is.
It's limiting.
Yeah.
It's funneling you. God, I can't get my words out tonight. Funneling you down a certain way that sometimes you don't want to go, and
that's not fun.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's just it's epic, and it's visually amazing.
Sieges are tough though, aren't they? To like really give kind of an opinion on, because we've had good experiences, we've had bad experiences, and I mean. Maybe ask me in a couple of months' time, do I still like sieges, or are they just now I'm totally over them and I don't want to fight sieges anymore? I guess maybe is the real I guess answer to that, of need to spend more time with it, especially in a campaign setting where it's against the AI, because I'm sure we can all make enjoyable multiplayer battles with the regular group of us that get together and fight custom battles together, because we make them interesting and different and different scenarios. So, the
AI can't do that, and that's the difference, isn't it? That's the thing. We can limit where we move our troops to. We can put things in various places. It's different, but for the AI, it's going to be more of I don't know, a repeated thing that you'll see, and maybe something that will tire too quickly. I don't know. I don't know.
So bugs.
Bugs.
I haven't seen too many.
Spiders. They're definitely a bug.
Spider riders, yeah.
It's
yeah,
what we went back to before. Is the level of polish on this is unlike. I get occasional freezes, like it'll freeze for like a second, and I think it's going to crash, but then it doesn't, and it plays. I don't know if anyone's. Have you been getting that? Or
I haven't gotten that so much. Again, I think there might be a lot to be assigned to potentially not having official drivers supporting the game yet.
Yeah.
right.
I'll tell you something I don't get, and I noticed you apparently do get it, Lionheart, and I don't get it, and it's weird. Especially with your PC being more powerful than mine, is the space bar thing.
Yeah, massive performance drop.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I get that both with SLI enabled and disabled, so I don't think it's an SLI
Very
thing.
strange.
I didn't
But
seem to get too much slowdown.
that happened for me on, I think it was either Attila or Rome 2, and it was quite a widely documented issue. When you pressed and held down spacebar,
Wow.
there was a massive performance. I want to say it was Rome 2.
I can clarify that. It was Rome 2 because when you press spacebar when it first came out, it wasn't the yellow indicator icon. It was actually a ghost image of the actual units.
I'm hoping they can potentially...
And it really duplicated it to another army.
I hope that if this isn't a driver issue, they can patch it and improve it as they did before. But also, I have noticed as well, there's quite a substantial, I think 10 to 15 FPS I've gained. As well, this isn't actually a bug. This is more of just like a tip if you do want more FPS, I guess. If you press K to remove all the unit icons and stuff during a battle, you'll see a massive increase in FPS as well because it's not rendering all those little flags and stuff.
Right.
Top tip.
But yeah, bugs wise, I don't know if I played it enough to see.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, I'm not very good at spotting bugs in that way. I've not got that sort of.
How many hours have you two sunk into it?
Oh, let me check.
I've got 34 hours at the minute.
32 minutes.
39 hours.
Sorry?
39 hours.
Okay, so I'm at 34, you're at 39. Warriors at...
No, I'm not. Yeah.
You're playing Warhammer right now, apparently.
Yeah, I was in a battle before.
He's just casually battling along.
46 hours.
Nice.
Oh.
Get you.
So I'm the scrub.
Yeah.
Hashtag Rambler Scrub.
No.
Trend it. Do it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think bugs. I haven't really had too many.
Yeah. Hugo crashed the other day when we were playing, didn't he?
Who did?
Hugo, yeah.
His game crashed. But I actually haven't had a crash at all in this press build. So it's been solid. I mean, yeah, we'll probably find some bugs going down. I'm sure there'll be lots of bug reporting on the forums and stuff. I wonder if that spelling mistake of poor has been corrected from Amulet of Sea Gold, Balthasar Gelt's speech. I know there was a lot of outcry on Reddit seeing that they spelt poor wrong.
Oh God,
or something like that.
A keen eye of people.
Keen eye, yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen too much. So I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which battle do I get Galmaraz?
Galmaraz, the Blackfire Pass one.
Because I haven't done that, but I've still got the weapon on my Empire campaign.
It gives you buffs, and I think
you have them. The Carl Franz always has Galmaraz as his weapon model.
Oh.
But you get all of them do. All of them already have their weapons and armor.
But in the thing where I've got Deathclaw now, I have that weapon, and I haven't done that quest
because you haven't buffed it yet.
Oh, it's about buffing.
Yeah, it's about buffing, so it gives you extra stats for that weapon, but it will always look like you've got it basically. Which I was kind of like, I hope they would actually make it so you could actually change the physical appearance of the weapons you were equipping. But then I guess maybe that's because you'd never get a Karl Franz model without Galmaraz in it, perhaps in the tabletops potentially. So I guess they would always.
I was thinking that myself. I was thinking if you could have it where, Exile gets the Crown of Sorcery. It's a shame that he hasn't got it, and then he has got it when he actually gets it. So when you get these enchanted items, there's no physical.
I'd want some representation on the battle map.
It goes back to we've said about this, and a lot of people seem to say about this about Medieval 2.
Yep,
about there's no armor improvements. There's no armor upgrades.
I've been mentioning that in interviews at the last 3 or 4 years. Every time I had a chance to interview CA for one of their games, like Rome 2, Attila, is there any armor upgrades and stuff? I was like, well, there's buffs, but there's no physical change. I'm like, why not? Because it would be a really you only need. I guess it's because they'd have to remodel all the units with different armor types. I guess it's a lot of extra work.
Too, though, so.
I guess it was a lot easier then. I don't know, like less variation, because you have all the different variations in armor now as well, don't you? The units are wearing. They're not all wearing the same set piece. So I guess it's a lot more work actually to texture all that stuff up. But I mean, if they ever could, that would definitely be a top feature I'd like to see come in, just from an aesthetic view, and especially changing the weapons as well. Like if you get a, I've got the Sword of Anti-Heroes on Carl Franz at the moment, I think, in my Empire Let's Play, but he's got Gal Moraz. And I'm also like, well, I haven't done the quest battle for Gal Moraz, so how can I have Gal Moraz? But it's the buffs that actually get applied to your character when you do the quest battle to claim that weapon. But
yeah, I was kind of hoping that. I thought that would have been in the actual game, where it would have featured your actual items being physically changing your character, but obviously not. So
yes.
Okay, on to magic.
Magic's fun. I like the layer it gives to the game. I'm still learning it. I still don't necessarily all understand it. Like learning to combine your hexes and magics at the same time, like spells, is really important. There's that. I can't remember the specific name, but it's you cast a magical net which pins units in place, which would be great if you combine that with like a Foot of Gork or something like that, which can then smash them in position. It's good. Yeah, I like magic. It's a really solid. I think they've integrated it in a very logical way for the series.
Definitely, and it, as you say, it adds that another layer of element of gameplay. It visually looks incredible. It's just adds so much atmosphere and immersion to the game in that regard. So yeah, it is superb, and it's great. Again, it goes back to the character customization, where you can start to go down a specific tech tree, or not tech tree, but a character skill, and actually try and pick the magic that you want him to have. And it's really good. It really adds that roleplay element as well. Yeah. So I like it. I like it a lot. Definitely. Rambler?
It looks pretty.
Oh my god.
No, I really like it. I have blown my load a bit early though before using the magic.
Oh, hello.
No,
Clean up our Rambler.
Canada.
Like, you can use
Rambler
your
clean
spells
up.
really early on in the battle, but I found that it doesn't work too well. So you kind of really need to time magic and use it very tactically. I also gambled with the Winds of Magic ones when I had 22 to start with.
No.
And I went down to 2.
Why would you gamble that?
So you're right.
That's like
I could get higher.
That's giving you like a hand of double aces. Your pocket rocket there with 22.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Rocket.
Yeah.
That's something that we may want to talk about, is that the Winds of Magic has its own sort of individual mechanic now in the game, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Because you have these sort of, as Rambler said, you've got, I think, between 0 to 30 as your Winds of Magic levels. And then as you start to use that Winds of Magic up throughout the actual battle, the recharge rate itself starts to slow down, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you've got a power reserve as well, like a power bank of like the total amount you can have depending on your position on the campaign map. And then,
and all magic spells cost a certain amount of Winds of Magic.
Augments don't though.
Oh, augments though don't.
Yeah,
they don't. No, correct.
And the rune of runes for the dwarves.
Wrath and
Rune. That is such a solid rune to use. So much damage.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's another thing you have to micro, and that's a good thing. It's challenging. It entices you to play more.
It adds to the game rather than detracts from it, I think, certainly.
We may have to do another video where we show off the actual magic book that's been designed in the game. It's one of these like hidden gems, like when we saw that big encyclopedia in Rome 2, we found out and showcased in our Warcast. There's actually one in Warhammer for all the magic spells, and it does little videos and things like that. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's done by the same guy again.
Spell browser, so you can kind of go through all the different laws of magic, and you can click them each one, and you'll see like a celestial wizard stand there, cast Comet of Cassandora, showing how it will work basically. And it has a whole spiel about what it does.
We'll do it next Warcast.
There we go.
We'll give you a preview. Well, let's want to do it this time. You can probably in, can't you? Probably a little preview. Maybe?
You wanted this done by tonight, though. I mean, the editing alone will be hours.
I'm easy. It's Rambler here
We
cracking
need
away.
to get it out for the giveaways before the game comes out.
Yeah,
Do
we'll
it next
We'll
Warcast,
cover the spell browser, later.
Yeah, we can do a Warcast in detail thing. I don't know. In detail, yeah.
Yeah, like
Are
like
we
a
gonna
Warcast
Go on.
overview, spotlight
Warcast
feature.
Overview.
are we gonna mention about the non-siege settlement or the non?
No.
We said it. We
No,
said it
I'm
in the
kidding,
past
yeah, we
video, didn't we? As
Yeah,
well.
so non-siege settlements are just land battles.
We've said, haven't we?
I'm not a fan.
We haven't given our thought. We have given our thoughts, but haven't we?
Yeah, we did in the last
episode.
one. I'm not a fan, guys.
No.
I miss
I-
my representation
I
of
would,
towns.
I would have been able to win battles if I had the minor settlements.
I don't think it seems to have gone down that badly on the Reddits. And
Yeah, I don't think
No,
many
people
people
don't
care
seem
as
to mind
much.
too much. So,
It's just me over here feeling really sad about.
maybe because I haven't played it yet. I don't know.
Yeah,
so talking about that and balance, which is what was the next thing on the list. Auto resolve.
broken.
Oh, that's broken.
Yeah.
Totally broken. I think it's because it struggles working out how to properly calculate the strength of single entity units.
It's like with elephants. If you auto resolved in Rome 2,
Yeah.
most of your elephants would die. In this case, my Ragnarok almost dies, and my wizard and like Carl almost died. So it's like the singular units tend to take a lot more damage in auto resolve, but regular troops don't. And battles which I probably should have fought, I've just auto resolved just because I don't want the ball ache over assaulting another dwarven Karak with their towers.
Heartdome Towers.
Yeah.
But yeah. There was the Dragon Ogres and the Crypt Horrors that I had in my Chaos campaign. There was a second settlement, and I mean, yeah, I outnumbered them, and it probably would have been a pretty easy attack. But the auto resolve bar was nearly completely full in my favor.
Yeah.
I was like, surely they'd give a little bit of a bit of a fight against me, and it's you literally see you lose like 12 men, and you look at all your monstrous units that are just racking up all these kills in the auto resolve because it doesn't know how to calculate them. So I hope that's something they address really quickly. I mean, there should be a day one patch. I don't know if that's something they'll have already jumped on, and hopefully they'll have made some progress towards sorting that out. But yeah, I guess if you really want that, if you want a kind of a fair experience at the moment and potentially at launch, if it's not been patched, you're probably going to want to fight most of your battles.
Also, just thinking about it, actually, I don't think the game takes into account. Actually, two things. It doesn't take into account the wizard's kills or the magic kills.
Yeah.
And it also, for some reason now, on 40 or large army battles, it doesn't give you the individual unit kills for some reason either, which
And
is a shame.
we've long lost the overall total kill, which I can't understand because they've got all the data. It's literally you'd have to input like another field to present X, equals total number killed, just to work out friendly fire. Which people that watch my videos will know that I'm king of killing half of my own men. You guys have seen me rocket artillery my own troops many a time and fire into my own towers, and if I've got artillery and there's some of my men in front of me, there's a good chance I'm going to shoot them and kill some of my men. So for the sake of those families, of letting them know that the friendly fire costs, I need that stat in there.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was so funny. For having that
every time.
Hellstorm rocket battery.
I was under a 30-minute deadline. I had to
I know. Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah.
I find that I think the one artillery unit which just seems lame is that Chaos Hell Cannon. Doesn't really seem to do anything.
Isn't it firing out like the souls of the damned or something like that? They're like screaming as they.
But it's got really bad accuracy, hasn't it?
This is souls.
I haven't got it yet. I think it's the organic material bulges at the bottom of the cannon.
Bulging.
Just looks like a penis.
Is it Modesta?
Cannon form. Well, Warrior, have you looked at the Crypt Horrors? Have you got any Crypt Horrors yet? Chaos campaign. Because Kolek starts with some. I don't know if you start with any, but they look disgusting. They've got like faces like half human faces or like
we saw
hanging
them.
out their heads, and they've got like little tentacles which look like something out of a dodgy scene somewhere.
Well, which one are we talking about? Because there's two. Because I've got Chaos Spawn, not them.
They've the Chaos. Is it the Chaos Spawn? I think. Yeah, Chaos Spawn. I mean, not Chaos Horrors. Yeah, Spawn with like they've got like people's faces around here, and they've got mouths and stuff everywhere. It's like
They've got a mouth
I
on.
can't see what you're doing.
yeah, I know. Viewers enjoy. Skype, why you no support this? Like this.
Yeah, if it's Chaos Spawn, they all look like they're
awful.
like Doom or something.
They've got a really hairy arse area and like front crotch patch.
I've not been looking. I'm not being looking.
It's like it just looks awful though. Like, the whole thing. I was just like, that's terrifying. You've really let that grow out. You should have a trim. But yeah, Lionheart been looking at Chaos Spawn crotches clearly. It's just it's because there's tentacles and faces and mouths everywhere. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
But
go on.
I was going to say, but yeah, going back to what we very quickly,
Yeah,
the minor
balance,
elements thing. Just think for me, it takes away some of the strategic gameplay that you could have.
There's nothing being added in its
friendly.
place, is there? Basically, it's the problem.
But we said this before. We didn't know the score. We said it in the last Warcast, but that's for us. I know, and I know Lionheart. I think yourself, Rambler as well. Not something we're a fan of at this moment in time.
No.
So there you go.
For the rest of the game, balance, it seems okay.
Need to play more
Balance.
of it, I think.
Yeah,
For me,
siege battles we talked about.
Yep.
Not balanced. From my perspective,
starting campaign
It's-
seems pretty balanced.
Bretonia. Not balanced.
Yeah,
You
they're a
need
bit
more
lame.
troops, yeah, or just not.
It's like the Pegasus Knights. The Pegasus Knights.
Well, we
For the
used them
cost.
incorrectly.
Apparently, yeah, but I think still for the cost of them.
Yeah. If they're the amount of like a light cav unit, then I guess. But I guess the flying, you can just go around and attack artillery and stuff.
Yeah.
We were trying to charge them into other cav, and they're not. That's not what
what
they're
should we use as like cycle charges down?
like light cavalry.
taking out
Essentially, taking out
archers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're light flying cavalry, basically, aren't they?
You look at them, you think with the way they look with the armor and the lances,
Yeah.
you think they'd be like heavy shot cav, don't you? Really, or something like that. But nope, I didn't know that. Fair enough. So I'll shut up.
I think there are like tweaks and stuff that they can do to the balancing, but I think overall now we're all starting to get to know which units to bring to a battle, which counters what. Then we're getting more experience with it, and I think if you're doing multiplayer, you should probably limit the amount of like terrorgeists and stuff.
I think the evil factions with their single units of their holy beasts and things like that.
I think multiplayer balance is always going to be a totally different thing.
Because there's humans involved, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I haven't played like end game campaign. The balance might be totally off, but the initial kind of first 20 odd turns of each of the campaigns that I'm heading towards so far seem, I'm doing all right. I'm able to stand my ground and working so far.
Good.
Well, can I add a topic in?
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about reviews? Because obviously the reviews have come out as well from.
We were going to do our
Various.
out of 10, so we can talk about reviews
Oh, okay.
at the end.
fair.
Perfect spot.
Yeah.
There we go. There we
So
go.
we'll move on to flying units. Is there much to talk about? They seem fun.
I think
Change the element of battles.
yeah.
Obviously, the first time they've been brought into Warhammer, to be honest with you, for the first time, they've done a great job.
Yep.
like magic,
Animation-wise, the mechanics, great.
like magic, it adds another layer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
Again,
especially for sieges, you fly over the walls and you can target units behind and
yes.
do stuff there. I think flying units have been brought in and for the first Total War game that they're in, it's a solid
Done a good
start.
job. Yeah. I've not really seen them bug out actually, are they? Yeah. Don't think.
Not really. No, I haven't seen anything.
Well,
Too crazy.
We went. I'm sure they won't mind us saying this because obviously it was an old bill, but we went to one of the press events a few months ago. I know you went there, Lionheart, but you were in the other room. But a Vargeist got caught on one of the vampire count's towers, and he was just spinning like this. And Pavel took a photo of it and a video of it, and we were all laughing.
Yeah.
It was quite funny. But yeah, no, I think that's nothing I've seen since. So yeah, I think it's, let's say for the first time, it being a game, it performed very well, because it must be a completely new mechanic for them to try and get that to implement and work. It's interesting.
Actually, one thing I just wanted to ask you guys, thinking about battles kind of just in general, how do you guys feel that it's gone back to the kind of Medieval 2 combat animation sort of system rather than the match combat system that we've had since Empire sort of thing?
Well, I think mo-capping a troll versus a human would be rather difficult.
Worth a go?
Come
on.
Someone mentioned that today, actually, in one of my videos, and said they missed the animations, the kill animations. So
I haven't seen that many. Like, the only one that really sticks favorably, or like memorably rather, in my head is that Lou and Leonker one, the Bretonia defense I had against Darren back at the studio a couple months back now. Just saw him leap forward and stab a crypt horror. So I guess there's probably very rare parameters of when they'll actually do enough damage with a single hit to take down like a monstrous creature or a whole unit. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a few more of them, but I think that's because I'm starting to miss the match combat stuff, which was very, very pretty. It looked good, but we're all saying this game has pretty solid performance. That could well be in part due to the fact that there aren't all these single animations popping up all the way. And I think because of the way the health point system is made, has been integrated in this game, it makes more sense that units just kind of swing at each other to do a lot more damage consistently, rather than having to keep waiting to trigger 1v1 matchups.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. I think you're right there when you said about the match combat. I think that definitely has improved the performance on Warhammer. That's one of the big factors, I think, in it. I kind of missed them, actually. I do kind of miss them.
Your infantry lines hold a bit more solid, though, now. They don't really blend into each other because they're not searching for the guy to match up against. So I think, from a formation standpoint, it's made things, the lines clash, they hit, and then they form up. Again, very Medieval 2-esque in design.
Waiting for the Rambler to...
Oh, sorry.
Next topic.
Next topic. Multiplayer. Bring back free-for-all.
Yeah, more game modes at this point, I think, would be...
King of the Hill.
Appreciated, especially with all these crazy monstrous creatures. Wow. There's so much potential. We did like a massive tank battle, didn't we? A game mode for that would be insane. Like, I don't know, tank gauntlet run or something. I don't know. Tank racing.
There's a few things in multiplayer. Only little things, but niggly things. Is, as you say, freefall. You can't select... Basically, the maps are more set now.
Yeah, they've taken out the features like weather and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can't even... It's like whatever time of the day it is, it's what the map is. You can't choose night, day, or morning, or anything like that. So I miss that for immersion aspect of playing multiplayer. I miss that for the immersion side of things. Also, weather can give a gameplay element to it, can't it? So that's something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you have like fog or snow.
So that's a shame. But I don't know, because at the moment we're used to on Rome 2 and Tiller, you had the map, didn't you? The campaign map. You go do anything where you wanted to, couldn't you? You could use any coordinates, and you could play a battle on that part of the map.
Yeah, we could do that in the old world.
You just have a list now of all, which is good in one way because every single battle map is custom, is unique even on pitch battles. Whereas at Tiller, you'd have very generic maps, even though you're choosing different locations on the campaign map. But now it's very, very well designed, and they are unique in that aspect. But I don't know. I just feel. I don't know.
In a way, you would say there's almost like less features in multiplayer now than before.
Stripped a little bit, but then given to it in a bit more because of the custom battle maps being very unique.
I'm not sure if it's adding enough from what's taken away though, because you had set maps, unique maps, custom maps in Attila and Rome 2.
You did. Not to this level, but
not to this level, yeah. And it's kind of like, I mean, we always do see this with a Total War game. We see some features that were introduced previously that that aren't taken forward and get dropped out. And obviously there's, potentially that's part of the process of let's see which features worked and which didn't, or which ones are suitable for this title. But I think there are genuine cases still even present in Total Warhammer where there's some features that we would have all, quite happily liked to have seen carried forward and additions, and instead they've actually kind of been stripped away and they're not appearing.
Yeah, and he's also taken away some types of battles as well. There's no river crossing battles now, and there's no port. There's no coastal battles, or
you don't actually have night battles in this either, but you have lightning strikes instead as a trait which you have to unlock with your legendary lord or your.
What do you get? What's that?
Lightning strikes work the same way night battles do, but obviously just not at night. It's basically a preemptive first strike against the first army rather than any reinforcing ones. Which you have to unlock, which is still, similar to how you would do it with night battles, where you'd have to get a guy with a trait of night battler or something. Which I'm fine with that. It's more variation in, I guess, weather, and because there's a couple of maps where it is snowing on, but it's always fixed and set. The customization there. Multiplayer needs some more love. I mean, I've seen quite a few Reddit posts where people have said multiplayer in Total Warhammer would have been perfect for another Avatar Conquest mode.
Perfect.
And I think that it is a missed opportunity, but then I guess were they saying before in the past that just not enough people really play it? Or
I think that's the problem. The problem is we're talking multiplayer now because we are all, to an extent, multiplayer players because of the community we play in, obviously the battles we do and things like that. But when you get a general player who gets a Total War game, majority of them just go and play a campaign, don't they?
They
don't play multiplayer.
Yeah, it's the mix between turn-based and real-time strategy. So you want to get that full experience, don't you?
Exactly, and they have to think of it. CA do from a budget perspective, how much they can invest.
A bonus mode almost, really, rather than a core, which is a shame because there is a lot of potential for it. I really do hope that just because they've kind of got Arena as their multiplayer title going forward now, that they don't kind of sit with multiplayer as it is for Total War games going forward forever, because it deserves at least some more game modes, as we've said, and I think there's got to be there's got to be something else that they can add to it, an Avatar Conquest or something similar to that just adds something more to it, because multiplayer is a great fun aspect of the game, whether we're doing more let's plays as single player or not. We all like to get together and play battles, and it's a great platform for making content, having fun, and getting together with your mates to smack down some Total War lore.
Well, I saw Dogbert last week. Seems very excited about Arena, so looking forward to seeing what content's coming that way. Yeah, seems excited, so looking forward to when it comes back, what's been changed. But
very nice.
He sounds excited.
Very nice indeed. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Come on, Chairman.
Score out of 10 and reviews. So, overall, at the minute, with 30 odd hours sunk into it, I'm at about an 8.5 out of 10. That's my score.
I mean, I was saying to Warrior the other day, initially, with kind of much less kind of time, I was going to say 7.5, but I think I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna stick with a solid 8 now, because I think as well I was being kind of a bit more harsh because I wanted to look at it very critically, but I think at points perhaps that was kind of overly critical to give it 7.5, because it is a solid title, it is a solid entry into the series. So yeah, for me it's an 8 out of 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10, I think, because it's introducing it into a new genre, and how they've adapted it and how they designed it, I think is a very, very good introductory game for the franchise, or for the IP, really.
So I think that we're all in agreement that it's a very good base point with which for them to build on with expansions, etc.
Lots of room for improvement, but solid, really good performance, optimized, and a
immersive.
And a lot of fun. Generally it's a lot of fun.
It's very ambient, very ambient in a lot of ways. Actually, it really drags you in. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, reviews we wanted to mention, didn't we? more I brought
Warrior,
up
you
reviews.
brought that up. So.
Did I? Oh yes. Reviews seem good.
Yeah, reviews
seem good. Yeah. No, if you go on to Metacritic, let's have a quick look at the.
to 86.
To go back onto it. 86 it is. So you've got
Wow.
a lot of like IGN 90. I mean, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna say it, we had very good reviews for Rome 2 when it first came out by the PC, the PC reviewing.
So grab a bag of salt, guys.
Yeah.
Even with what we're saying, because wait until you can play it yourself or watch more videos, watch more content, and make your informed decision from that. But hopefully what we've shared here is enough to.
Metacritic on Rome 2 is 76. For Attila, it's 80. For Warhammer, it's 86. Shogun 2 was 90. Rome 1 was 92. Empire, which had a buggy release, not sure what I did there.
Oh yeah.
90. I gave that 90 with that release.
I think that was just because it was such a revolutionary jump from like Medieval 2 to like brand new engine. The largest scale I think we've seen in a Total War game across so many theatres of war. I would almost. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Empire, despite even trying to play with Darth mod these days. It's still a buggy mess.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back and playing more campaigns, so they must. They've done something right there because I keep coming back for the punishment that it is. With the stutter, there's so much stuttering at the moment. When I click on a fleet in my Maratha campaign, it will lag for days until I deselect the ship. After like a minute of full-on stutter trying to move them across the sea, it is very poorly kind of optimized in those sense for like late game stuff, which is a shame. But
for a series that's now 14 years old,
over 15. They celebrated 15 years, didn't they?
Was 2000 the original Shogun? So
2000 was the first one, yeah. 16 years.
16 years. It's holding up pretty well.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I think that shows, you said that Metacritic from 77 to 80 to 86. They are improving. So I think for the most part they're pretty fair. I think the lowest review I saw was a 7 out of 10. So as I said, I was originally kind of sitting 7.5, but I think 8 is where I'm at now, and yeah. I think most of those reviews around the 80 mark, or 8 mark, are pretty solid.
8,
which you should expect.
Yeah, there's a lot of 85s, 86, 87. What did IGN give it? IGN Spain 92, IGN Italia 95.
What did PC Gamer give it?
98.
86 with IGN. Both IGN and PC Gamer gave it 86.
Oh, GameSpot gave it 90. Apparently.
What did Eurogamer give it? Because Eurogamer quite.
Eurogamer gave it a recommended stamp.
So they don't do scores, yeah.
Right.
It's funny because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with not giving something a score, but it's a very good gauge of working out rather than like a recommended stamp might, you could give that to. It could be a pretty crap game, but it could have a fantastic setting and really great visuals or something, and you just really recommend it for that immersive experience. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, give it a solid 8.
Sometimes the score just helps, I think. A rough gauge.
Thing is here, like IGN, one of the things it didn't like about was the limited start positions. Well, that hopefully can be changed sometime soon with a mod, so that can be adjusted.
Yeah.
Campaign and quest pacing was the other minus, but apart from that, the pluses were hero progression, chaos invasion, and unit and faction variety for the overall. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people, as Lionheart said, take these sort of reviews with a pinch of salt, and they'll go to and wait for people like Angry Joe to do their reviews before they actually truly
trust.
Well, yes, because that's the generation we live in now with these sort of reviewers, and
a lot of people probably won't even trust our opinion.
No, I was gonna say to us as well. Yeah,
and at the end of the day, we're just giving our opinion on the game, and it's totally fine to completely disagree with it and think it's wrong. We're giving our honest opinions about our time with the game, with with these press builds. Ultimately, the 2-hour Steam refund thing is still in effect. So if you want to jump in, play the game for an hour or so, and if you don't like what you see, you can get your refund, and you can go that way. But if you like it, I think it is a solid entry into the series. It's doing a lot of new things. and it's doing a lot of familiar things as well. For the most part, it succeeds.
Definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
Right. Well.
All right. Bye.
Until next time.
So remember, if you've watched it all the way through to the end, the giveaways, links.
Here's a medal.
Yeah, here's a medal.
take one of the arena ones.
Here's a game for free.
What?
What?
No, you didn't. No, we're not. No.
No.
The giveaway links are in the description. Make sure to do it quickly. I imagine the giveaway is only going to be open until the game actually releases, which is going to be like, 12 hours after this video goes out,
Yeah.
Wow.
if that. So
Get going,
do it
guys.
quickly. We should probably put a disclaimer in the description or something.
Yeah. When it ends, when the winner's chosen.
Yeah. Like next year, someone's, where's my copy? I've just entered it. And it's
We'll
like,
leave that to Rambler, the social media manager for the Warcast podcast.
yes, yeah.
Can you send me the image with the rules though?
The rules. You just watch the video back. You said it at the start, mate.
Okay. Well, take care, everyone.
Yeah. And enjoy Total War Warhammer if you pick it up on Tuesday.
I'll be poning you guys on multiplayer soon.
No, you'll be poning him.
I hope you guys enjoyed that because it was great to get together to give you our thoughts. We were trying to do this for a while now, but take us with a pinch of salt, and then great.
All
Ciao
right.
for now.
Bye.
Ciao for now.
Seriously, original guys, come on.
Bye.
Toodles.